A Tiny Tassel is a jewelry, clothing, and accessories brand that is inspired by the vibrant colors of Charleston, South Carolina. Today, I talk with the founder and CEO of the Tiny Tassel, Mimi Striplin, for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Mimi Striplin, welcome to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me today.
Oh, you're very welcome. I know that you're the founder and CEO of the Tiny Tassel, which is a jewelry, clothing, and accessories brand inspired by the vibrant colors of Charleston, South Carolina, obviously. And you're located right around the corner here at Spring and St. Philip Street in downtown Charleston. Well, let me ask you, what's new, what's now at the Tiny Tassel, that is?
Yeah, so right now, it's end of January. We just launched our Valentine's collection, which is always a really great, busy time of year for us, with everyone wanting to shop for themselves or buy their Galentine's a gift. So we're heading into the spring season and designing new garments, designing new jewelry, and bringing on a few new local brands to highlight in our shop.
And what are those local brands that you want to continue to highlight in your shop?
Yeah, we currently have a handful of local brands that are all Black women led, and we always want to put an emphasis on that because in downtown Charleston, you don't see that in many stores, and it's a thing that I hope to see more of, just more of a presence of Black artists, Black creatives, Black makers in downtown Charleston. And when I opened the store almost a year ago, I wanted to literally and figuratively create a space for those women who want to have their products downtown, whether they have a goal of opening a store downtown themselves one day, or if they're just like, this is it, I just want you to carry my pieces so that people can get to it downtown. Whichever is in their mind, we love having. But we've got Motherland Essentials, we have Moonseed Jewelry, BR Design Co., which is also jewelry. We also have Escape Haven, who makes our signature candles.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. What is that space for the typical Black women and obviously owner here in Charleston?
Yeah, the space has been an interesting one. I am really happy to have started my business here in Charleston, where a lot of people in the community really appreciate and they support local made, handmade goods. But a dream of mine is to be able to walk into a shop and see people that look like me, see people who look like my family and my friends, and to feel welcome in all of these shops downtown. And I've heard that more and more from friends, from strangers, where they just don't feel that welcome when they walk into a store on King Street or wherever it may be. And I wanted to create a space that's joyful, that's inclusive to all, no matter your age, your race, your size, your color, anything, that you come into our store and you feel welcome right away. Whether you want to spend $5, no money, whether you want to spend $1,000 with us, we want you to feel welcome and that you can come in and find joy in our shop.
What is the typical customer service experience right now in the midst of COVID, Mimi?
Yeah. So a lot of people say, why in the world would you open a store in the midst of COVID? And last year and 2020 were two of my busiest years yet out of 6.5 years of business. And with that momentum, I just thought, okay, this beautiful space is here. It's an opportunity. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. And when customers get to visit our store, we create such an experience for them that is joyful, that's welcoming, that's inclusive, that is happy, and that's also comfortable, because my least favorite thing is walking into a store and feeling uncomfortable, whether it's because you don't get the customer service that you expect, or you get too much customer service and it makes you feel like you want to pull away and leave the store. We never want anyone to feel that way when they come in. We want them to feel a genuine connection with our team, with myself if I'm there, with our products, with our story, and we love to just educate our customers. But we are so lucky to have such an amazing following online through our website and through our social media. And so many of those shoppers are all over the world, and they make a point to visit Charleston to come and see our store now that we have a brick and mortar. And we always say that our goal is to have those two things connect and be seamless. So if you're following online on Instagram and today's your first day, we want you to be able to look at our Instagram, watch some of our videos, see what our brand is, and then also come visit our store and feel that same connection.
Absolutely. What is your customer's connection to your team?
So they really, really enjoy meeting our team in store. We get so many messages and emails that say, so-and-so helped me in the store, and they were amazing at helping me pick out earrings for my daughter's birthday or whatever occasion they're shopping for. And I wanted to create a team that also represents all different sizes, all different colors, ages, and we've been working on that for the last year to really bring in women of color to work on my team, because again, like I said earlier, you don't see that in many shops downtown. And I also want a customer to come in and know that, like, yes, we see you, we want to represent you, we want to be here to help you no matter what our race is or what our age is. We have a couple of college students that work with us, some recently graduated team members, and also up to my mom, who is in her early 50s, who makes our clothing and designs all of our garments. It gets so funny. It gives me such a kick when she's in the store, she happens to be in, and a customer comes in and they immediately gravitate towards the clothing, and she's like, I want to help them. Let me help them find the perfect size for their body, the style that complements them the best way. So we really have a great team, and the experience that our customers get is it's truly just unique to each customer.
Absolutely. And I want to talk more about your mom and later in this interview, but let me ask you, what are the ins and outs of having a brick and mortar store?
Having a brick and mortar is a lot. So I co-owned another brick and mortar downtown that I opened in 2017, and I was there through I would say, beginning half of 2020. And during that time, I was still running the Tiny Tassel, as this was the first thing that I started back in 2015. And having that brick and mortar was a really good learning experience of how to read the customers, how to visualize and display products, and how to budget for those things. And now having a brick and mortar, it feels like this is like level 2 for me. Like, I'm like, this is cool that I've already had practice, but it still is a really hard thing because you are tied to your retail store, your brick and mortar, in so many different ways, good and bad. You have more overhead costs. You have the responsibility of worrying about if there's going to be flooding one day with all the rain, or a snowstorm that may have to cause you to close and affect your payroll budget and all of these different things. And so having a brick and mortar is one thing that I knew I really wanted, and it was a goal for my business to have a flagship store here in Charleston. But it's also one of those things that I say, it's not for the faint of heart.
Wow. I know that obviously you're originally from the Upstate, and I just thought about this. Would you ever consider opening a store there?
As of right now, I'm not planning to open a store in the Upstate. It would be amazing for me to have a store there, but we do currently wholesale to a couple shops in my hometown of Spartanburg. We wholesale to Pink on Main, their signature Lily store, and we're so happy to have our pieces there and have some sort of footprint there. But we do find that a lot of customers, a lot of people in the Upstate and in Spartanburg specifically, that I just have no ties to from growing up there, they find our shop and they shop with us, and then they find out that I'm from Spartanburg, and it makes them even happier to know that they're shopping from a Spartanburg native.
Absolutely. And I know that obviously the Tiny Tassel, as I just mentioned, is a jewelry, clothing, and accessories brand inspired by the vibrant colors of this city. What vibrant colors in this city inspires you today?
Always pink, as you can see. But I love all of the colors around town, whether it's the colors of the homes and the buildings, or the colors of the beautiful blossoms and flowers that we get to enjoy so many times throughout the year. That's one of my favorite things about Charleston, is that we get so many blooms of flowers that you may not get in a colder climate. And I love going for walks in the morning and just seeing all of those colors, and then starting my day and thinking of new designs and new ways that we can incorporate more color into our pieces. And one of my happiest moments is when a customer says, I typically wouldn't wear this color, but you've encouraged me or you've inspired me to wear a brighter, more vibrant color. And of course, we also have great neutrals like golds, blacks, whites, blushes that can go with so many outfits. But we really do encourage everyone to find a little joy in what you're wearing, whether that's through color or fun style or fun accessory, to just incorporate all of that, what we're inspired by, into your everyday life.
And what color right now, Mimi, are you incorporating into those pieces?
So we have been incorporating a lot more purple. That typically was not one of our main colors, and I think it's the color of the year. It's like a periwinkle. I forget the exact name of it, but we have been working on bringing more light purple and lilac into our store online and in person, because if you've ever seen our shop or seen photos, our store is color coded around the shop. So it starts with the whites and goes through Roy G. Biv all the way to the rainbow at the end. And we realized that our purple section was our smallest, and customers started to say, hey, like, where are all the purple things? What's going on? And so we listen. We love to hear that from our customers. So we've been starting to incorporate more purple. We'll have some purple garments for the spring. We've got new purple earrings and tassels as well.
What else are you hearing from your customers?
We hear a lot about what they love and what they don't love, and we always appreciate it, because as a small business, constructive criticism is one of our most valuable tools that we can receive from someone. Of course, sometimes it hurts your feelings as a small business owner, but I think that is one of the biggest growth points in owning a business, is when you can kind of step back and realize, okay, this person isn't taking a jab at me personally. They're just offering their suggestions, and they're hopefully things that we can consider to help grow our business or shift our business. But we hear a lot from them that they want to see more children's pieces and children's things. So we work with the local maker, Urbane Baby, who makes matching baby dresses and bibs that match some of our women's rainbow row pieces. So that's always fun. And we've also been working to bring more gifts and accessories in that are just like under $10 gifts for kids that you can put in their Valentine's gifts or Easter baskets, whatever you're gifting them.
Recommendations from your customers have allowed you to shift your business?
Yes, it definitely has. We would get suggestions about, say, last fall we made a certain top and it was a little shorter in length. And for me, I personally have a shorter body. It fits perfectly on me. But those are the things that we have to consider when we're making garments for different shapes and different ages and different customers with body types, because that vary, because they will let us know in their voice, and we have to listen to them, or we'll have a rack full of shirts that we just can't sell, and we've wasted our time and money making those pieces instead of listening to our customers and changing those things.
Wow. And I know what you said on the website, whether you're enjoying Sunday brunch with friends, a romantic piece, picnic that is, or a family birthday party, the Tiny Tassel is your one-stop shop for handmade earrings, bracelets, necklace, garments, and party goods. What is that best-selling item right there?
That's always the hardest question for us. We have so many great bestsellers. Our earrings, of course, continue to be our bestseller, whether it's our signature tassels like I'm wearing today. We have them in a rainbow of colors, or our beaded earrings that my sister and I designed together. We just launched an amazing Valentine's collection yesterday, and we continue to sell out of those styles, and we see a lot of customers in store shopping for gifts like birthday gifts and things like that. So in store, we have some really beautiful pieces that are also available online. Our greeting cards are always very, very popular because you can't find too many greeting cards downtown anymore. We don't have a stationery shop in the neighborhood anymore. And everything from our candles that are handmade here in Charleston to our body butters from Motherland Essentials, we have quite a few bestsellers for everyone on your list.
Yes, indeed. And how many of those particular items have you actually sold?
Oh gosh, it's always hard to count. Someone asked me once how many tassels we've sold. I would love to know the numbers on that. I'll have to look back and get back to you on it. But it has been, gosh, thousands and thousands of tassels now, back from 2015 to where we are today.
Right. And you know, earlier you talked about sometimes making some things that don't really sell well. What are those things that actually not sell well, so well that is in your store?
Yeah, we've had a few different things, whether it was a certain color earring or a certain color garment or size or style. And we really had to shift and listen to our customers, like I mentioned before, and make those changes. And of course, we oftentimes have a very small pile of, oh my gosh, we cannot sell this to save our life. And then something clicks and someone sees it on our website, and we do like a cheer when we finally sell that very last either purse or a pair of earrings that we've been holding on to for quite a while. It just makes our team so happy. Like we literally like jump for joy when those pieces finally sell, because that means that someone instantly saw it and they were like, this is the piece for me. And that's the feeling that we want all of our customers to have when they shop with us online or in store.
Yeah, thank God for that. And speaking of which, you said this happiness is the core value of the Tiny Tassel. So each carefully curated piece is created with those special event, everyday moments, that is, in mind. What special everyday moments from your collection keeps you happy?
Gosh, I love all of our brand. I know it sounds cliche to say that, but I absolutely love our party goods section. It brings me so much happiness and joy. We curate all of those pieces in our shop. I love all of our earrings that I get to design with my sister because they are so joyful and so whimsical. And of course, I love our garments because I used to have such a hard time walking into a store, finding garments that fit me, that fit my style, my size, my personality, and that make me feel comfortable and confident. And so I genuinely love all of our products because they are made to bring us so much joy and happiness.
And you talked earlier about obviously, you know, confidence in the clothing that you wear. What is your confidence level right now, especially with your own store, that is?
Yeah, my confidence level is quite high, not in a bad way or a negative way. And I think that's something we have to normalize amongst women of color, that just because we're confident does not mean we're cocky or we are thinking of ourselves too highly, but we are just sure in ourselves, in our bodies, in where we are in our lives, professionally or with relationships or just personally or spiritually. And I say to our team always, I want them to work confidently and own it and thrive in their positions, just like the feelings that I have every day. Because I remember working jobs before I started the Tiny Tassel, and I never felt this confidence that I have today because I was never completely sure of my role wherever I was, or if I was doing my job well enough or being accepted in what I was doing. And now getting to create the space for myself and for other women, it is such an amazing feeling, and it brings me such a boost of confidence every day when I get to wake up and think, I get to do this today. I am choosing this for myself today.
Yes, indeed. And where are you professionally?
Professionally, I am so happy where I am. I never thought that I would have this chance to do this so early in life. When I started this Tiny Tassel, I think I was 22 years old, and I always had it in my mind that you had to go to college, start a career, and then maybe later on in life, you could kind of venture off and do this thing for yourself. But it's such an interesting thing. I was talking about this last week that both of my parents are entrepreneurs, and I've always had this vision of what entrepreneurship looks like. But for some reason in my mind, I thought that, oh, maybe when I'm 40, I can open a store, have my own boutique. And I always want to just shout from the rooftops now to any woman or man who has an idea to start a business younger. Take the chance, do your research, work hard. You can do it and really create and build a life for yourself so early on, so that you are so confident and happy and fulfilled in your professional life this early on in life, and that you don't have to accept anything other than that.
And what type of research did you do before the Tiny Tassel was launched?
So I did not do much research, I will say. In retrospect, I look back and some days I think, how in the world did I start a business? I laugh about that all the time. There's so many amazing resources out there now that I read books now, I take courses, I learn from other business owners. on a daily basis, because that, I think, was one of my biggest problems, was ignorance to all of those resources that were out there for me as a business owner. And it was just pure ignorance because I didn't go to business school. I don't have a business degree. And so I didn't learn a lot of these basic daily skills that are needed to run a business and to start and grow a business. But instead, I kind of did it backwards, and am now learning along the way. But I always encourage others to, first off, find a community that works for you so that you can educate yourself, research other businesses. One thing that we do is research an aspirational business. So for us, a few of ours are Kate Spade, even J. Crew, all of these larger brands that are now household staples that have been around for years and years. And we look at those brands and say, okay, we're not at that point today, but what are they doing with their marketing? What are they doing in their stores with visual displays? What are they doing in their email newsletters? What are some of those things that capture our attention and keep us coming back time after time to shop with them, to be able to kind of transition that into the Tiny Tassel and utilize those things?
Oh, a couple of questions I want to break down. How does the Canonboro-Elliottboro community works for your business?
It's been really great to be in the Canonboro-Elliottboro neighborhood. I love it. I lived in the area for years during college and a few years after, and it is such a special place to me because I feel like it's this quaint little neighborhood that not everyone knows about, but it is so special. It's filled with locally owned shops, restaurants, little parks and things that are hidden, little coffee shops, and it is such a special place that allows businesses to start there, to grow. I love that it's so close to King Street and other areas of downtown, but the rent and things is so much more attainable for small businesses, whereas a block over on King Street, those overhead costs get so expensive that it doesn't make it attainable for a small business to start a business and open a store on King Street right now.
How do you run your business?
So we just run it every day with our goals in mind. We set weekly, monthly, daily goals, yearly goals, and I always want to make sure that our team has those goals front of mind and have it aligned, because no matter what task, small or large, whether we are mopping the floors or creating a new jewelry design, all of those things have to come back to our goals. And if that does not support our goals, we've got to either get rid of it, find a different way to do it, or reevaluate what we're working on and how we're running the business.
Keep your customers coming back to the Tiny Tassel?
They love our story. They love our joyful approach to life, to our brand. They find so much happiness in what we design and create. And we also have price points that are pretty attainable for most customers. We have things from $3 to $100, and we really try to have things that are inclusive to different ages, different income levels, because we want everyone to be able to come in and either find a greeting card that like instantly makes them think of a friend or family member, or a sticker to put on their mirror that makes them feel confident every day when they're getting dressed. We really want to be able to connect with them in as many different ways as we can.
What are your demographics?
So right now, our customer base ranges, but in store we have quite a bit of customers who are in that like mid 20 to mid 30-year-old range. And then we also have quite a few customers online and in store who are 50s to 60s. And it shows that they have more of a disposable income where they're shopping for gifts for family members, for grandkids, for daughters, and they're able to stop in and pick up gifts and also shop for themselves. And of course, we're so close to the College of Charleston where I attended. And so we have quite a few College of Charleston students and team members and staff that comes in to support our shop online and in person. And I'm always so happy to meet our fellow Cougars when they come in.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of which, let me bring you back here home. Who was Mimi Striplin as a college student?
Gosh, I don't even think I knew. If I saw her walking down the street right now, I probably would not recognize her. I went through so many style changes and gosh, just had no clue what I wanted to do with my life, with my professional life, personal life. When I came to the College of Charleston, I just knew that I wanted to come to Charleston. And being at the college, I was able to join different organizations that really helped shape me as a person, and really lean into what I was good at, what I loved, what I didn't love, what I wasn't good at, and really learn to work. And to network and to grow. And I'm so grateful for my time at the college and all the support that I've received and being able to stay involved and give back and volunteer. And now we have College of Charleston students on our team, and we've had interns over the years. But it is such a special place to me that I'm so grateful for the experience that I had.
Yes, indeed. And what would you have told your college self back then?
I would have told her to be more confident in who she was, to not feel like she had to shrink herself or even make herself straighten her hair to fit in more, or kind of compromise things to make other people more comfortable. I wish that I would have known what I know today, and I still have so much more to learn, but I wish that I would have known today what is important to me now, in my personal life, work life, relationships, all the things that I could have just been more confident in myself, and that would have kind of trickled into all the different parts of my life.
And speaking of your life, I know obviously you were born in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You were encouraged by both your Asian and Black heritage, South Carolina upbringing, and your time obviously here at the College of Charleston. What else did your Asian and Black heritage encourage you to do?
Gosh, it is one thing that obviously is such a huge part of my life, but it has encouraged me to stand out always. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of people that looked like my sisters and I. I'm thankful that I had sisters, who I could look up to, but it's really encouraged me to hone in and find what that means to celebrate who I am and what I am, my parents' backgrounds, my family backgrounds, how I can let some of those family traditions and things live on forever and through my work and through my personal life. It's been such a special thing to connect with other Black and Asian women and men who also kind of have the same story and have had the same questions over the years, but never felt like they could relate to someone else. It brings me so much joy to be able to connect with other people who truly understand it and who are also on this journey of like finding what it means to truly represent and encourage others to live and stand in their heritage.
How do you live and stand in your heritage?
I try to really let it shine through everything I'm doing all day, every day. And I think growing up, my parents taught us to just be ourselves, to be us. It wasn't that we had to be one way or the other or have more culture from one or the other, but just have a blended mix to create our personalities, ourselves, the things that we like, the things that we enjoy, things that we don't like, the food that we eat, all the things. But I try to really encourage that through our shop and through our brand, whether it's the styles that we design or the music that we play in store or the books that I share that I've read. We always want to make sure that a little bit of that is shining through what we're doing.
What is Mimi Striplin reading today?
I just started a new book club with my friends. We were just texting about it last night, so this question is perfect. But we decided to read, it's a book, I think it came out in 2019. It's called Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, and I'm only a couple pages in, so I can't tell you much about it. But sure. I am the person that loves to pick books off of the covers still. I love to walk into an actual bookstore. And here in Charleston, or it's in Mount Pleasant, I love the Village bookseller, the Village bookstore on Coleman Boulevard. They have such an amazing mix that I don't typically find. And then also a little further north here in Charleston, Turning Pages Bookshop. It's a Black women-led bookstore. And I can't wait to get there to visit her and to get some new books. But I'm super excited to dive into this new book because I found so many more relatable books that I can enjoy that aren't that aren't too serious. I love reading for entertainment and for fun and just to wind down at the end of the day. So I'm excited to jump into this new book.
Yes, indeed. And we love Belinda out in Goose Creek. She just opened her second store in Somerville. And
Yes.
and the Village Books seller owner, I just met her a couple of days ago, so I'm hoping to get her on Quintin's close-ups in the spring. But what's one of those books that you have read thus far, Mimi, have allowed you to grow as a business owner?
Oh, gosh, there's so many. I've just started the book, or I keep picking it up and reading a little bit here and there. Shoe Dog is the story about the Nike founder, and that has been such an interesting one, just showing where you can start and how if you work hard and work strategically, you can grow a brand into something much larger than you could ever imagine. So it's really cool to read stories like that, but also something that's so important to me every day is that I read my devotional, and it's not necessarily a business related devotional, but the days when I get up, have my quiet time in the morning, I'm able to read my devotional and start my day that way. Those are my best days in business and in life because I go into it with a clear mind, focused on the things that are true to why I started this brand. And it also allows me to let that radiate through what I'm doing, whether it's in work or personal life that day.
And what are those things that are true to your business right now?
Gosh, I keep saying it over and over, joy and happiness. And it sounds so repetitive, but they are two simple things that I think in life, it gets so fast paced and so busy that those are the first two things that can go. And the first two things that kind of go on the back burner for a lot of people. And for myself, that happened years ago. And it still happens in busier seasons. And I have to kind of check myself and say, hold on, this is not bringing me joy today, or why am I grumpy, or why am I complaining about everything, and I feel like nothing is going right, and I have to check myself and say, what am I doing today? What am I consuming? What am I watching on TV? What am I reading? Who am I talking to? What type of attitude do I have? What am I eating? How did I sleep last night? Because all of those things affect my day-to-day life, and I'm sure affects everyone else's, but I want to be able to have a constant source of joy and peace, and through that comes happiness. But no matter what the circumstances or the struggles of that day may bring, I want to always be able to still have that joy inside of me.
And speaking of talking to, what are you listening to when you talk to the other business owners about business?
Yeah, gosh, I've started to listen to a few different podcasts. One of them is called Beyond Rock Middle, and it's Sally Holder. She is in the Upstate in Greenville, and I've loved listening to her podcast and tuning into some of her Zooms because it's very focused on strategic planning, and that's one thing that I did not even know was something that I needed to focus on. We always hear, like, set your goals for the year, set your goals for your business, but I never really dug into that deeper to the next level. And over the last 6 months, I've been really working to plan more strategically, plan further out, make longer term goals so that I can continue to grow the business and shift wherever the Tiny Tassel may take itself. I want to be able to be ready for that and guide our team for that time.
How are you preparing for that shift now?
So every day I am really looking at what's working, what's not working in the business, whether that is products or systems that we have in place. I want to make sure that we're able to really recognize when something is doing well for us and be able to replicate that again and again, or when something isn't doing so well, how can we shift and how can we change that or fix it or get rid of it if we need to. But I want us to always be able to recognize when those shifts are happening first off, so then we can take the actions and the steps that we need to actually make the shift and the move.
And obviously, you said this. I've always dreamt of opening my own boutique, and it has been one of the most memorable experiences in the 5 years of the Tiny Tassel. What was on your vision board for this particular store?
Gosh, I am I wish I were a vision board person. I've
Oh.
never made an actual vision board, and you'll laugh because I have whiteboards behind me. I'll make a vision board. I have all these magazines and things, so this queuing me up to want to make a vision board now. But in my mind, I wanted to really have a space that was joyful, that was happy, that had products and things that were just really great. And that sounds so general, but you walk into a store, whether it's on the website or in person, and you want to be like in awe. And when we have customers come in and they are just in awe of what we've created and curated together, I know that I've done my job well that day, because we want everyone to come in and immediately feel a sense of joy and happiness in our store, or when they visit our website or our social media platforms, we want them to instantly have their day uplifted by visiting our shop.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of your mom, she's helped you a lot in the business. What do you want her to curate? What do you want to create with her together in the next 5 years?
So we've really worked on growing our garments, really listening to our customers, growing that portion out. When we started with our clothing, I think we had about 3 or 4 pieces, and that was it. And now we've grown our collection to so many styles, shirts, dresses, skirts, shorts, all types of things. And one of our big goals is to be able to create a really beautiful special collection each year that is a little more high end, that is a little more extraordinary. So it's not your everyday wear, but if you want to wear it to the grocery store, you wear this giant bow pink dress or whatever it is. We want to create something that's really special for more special occasions that customers can keep in their closet forever and ever, and always have a memory of some special occasion that they wore that to.
What are your memories of the first beginning of the Tiny Tassel?
Gosh, lots of time sitting on my apartment floor, on my couch, making jewelry until the wee hours of the night. And I'm so grateful for that time. So many days schlepping tables and setups around town to do pop-ups and markets. But I love those times so much because I got to meet customers for the first time in person and really create that connection and that experience for them and for myself, and be able to grow the business from that start. And I'm so humbled thinking back to that and back to that time, even having an office space now. Every day I walk into the office and I still think, wow, we have an office. Because a year ago we were all working out of my apartment and out of a tiny, like super, super tiny 100 square foot room and running all of our operations. But now to even have an office, it is so special that we can provide that. And everyone has a desk and a chair,
Yes.
and a filing cabinet. And all of those little things make me feel so much joy and so much happiness about where the Tiny Tassel started to where it is now and to where it has the potential to grow to.
Where does it have the potential to grow to the next 10 years?
So our big things that we've been working on has been setting revenue goals. And one of my big revenue goals, first up, because we are a business and we're here to make money and to be profitable, but our 10-year business goal is to be at $10 million. And with that comes so many different things, whether that is another store, or growing our online presence, or adding more collaborations with other artists, also bringing on different parts of our business. We get so many other business owners that reach out and have questions about starting a business or brick and mortar. And so that's one thing that we're launching this spring is business consulting, where they can dial in and they can chat with me and we can go over plans for them and really help them get to a point where I am today. Because I always say I did not have all the resources in the beginning. I still don't today. I'm still learning every day, but I want to be able to be a resource for others where they can have a safe place to come and ask all of their questions and have help finding the answers to those things.
Yes, indeed. And who do you want to collaborate next as far as an artist?
So we have worked a lot with my friend Evelyn Henson. We actually met through Instagram years ago, and she's in Charlotte, North Carolina. But last year we did about 10 earring collaborations with her, and it was really, really fun to take her artwork, bring it to life through our earrings. And we now have different styles of keychains. We did Christmas ornaments with her artwork, but we're happy to continue that with her. We've got some new spring designs coming for Easter, and also just bringing on other artists. I would love to work with some Black women who are artists and have a different style to bring that in and incorporate it into our jewelry and our pieces so that we can also continue to reflect that through our work.
And what else do you want to reflect on when it comes to Tiny Tassel?
I would really like to just ensure that no matter what part of our business we're growing or going into, again, going back to our goals, that it all reflects back on that. Because, like I mentioned earlier, if it's not aligned with our goals, we don't need to do it right now. It may not be a we don't need to do it ever thing. It may just need to be we don't need to do it right now, today.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Well, Mimi Striplin, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to the award-winning Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
Oh, you're very welcome anytime.